Greetings, Flesh Wound Horror freaks, and welcome to Flesh Wound Horror Live. I'm Daniel Shine, joined by producer Todd Loya.
What's up?
Pugs Dread.
Namaste. What's up?
And Mike Kruger.
What's up, you sick motherfuckers?
So we're here tonight. We got a bunch of new movies. I can genuinely say each one I was very much looking forward to. A few of these I've followed for a while. So we'll see. We'll see if it lived up to the hype. We'll get right into it with our first film, which comes from Unearthed Films, new to Blu-ray, and that is No Reason from director Olaf Ittenbach. And No Reason. Death has no remorse. Engulfed by anguish, trapped inside an allegory of torment and carnage, Jennifer's soul seeks the path of awareness and enlightenment. A harrowing journey into the pits of hell where one woman's journey for redemption in the afterlife is tested to the most extreme limits. All right, Kruger, what did you think of No Reason? How did you like the Cthulhu bondage mask?
Yeah. So this was my first time watching this movie. I'd been anticipated since I saw the art that Unearthed Films put on the Blu-ray. I mean, it looked like you already mentioned Cthulhu mask, so I was all in for that. And I'd heard a lot about Olaf Ittenbach's work. I know Unearthed is going to be coming out with one of his films, Premudos, coming up. So first off, we get this heartwarming little opening showing like this happy family playing with their dog in the snow. And then we get like these pictures of this nice little girl growing up. And it's just so funny that was the opening for this film, because this is a fucking balls to the wall extreme splatterfest of a fucking movie. So I loved how that contrasted. The cinematography I really liked, especially with the uses of color through each different level of afterlife that our main character goes through, and what each color represents. I also thought that was really cool. Irene Halsfurtner, who plays our main character Jennifer, I think absolutely killed it with her performance, and honestly the acting all around on this was pretty solid. And Jennifer as a character, it was just really interesting character study of her, and really well done. I also think I would be doing myself a disservice if I didn't mention, like you already said, the Cthulhu masked badass executioner that guides, Jennifer through her journey into, various stages of hell. He's fucking awesome, brutal as hell. And he had this, the sick leather octopus mask on the whole time. And I want that in my possessions for undisclosed reasons. The story, I thought at first was kind of confusing, but by the end, everything comes together and all that confusion was explained. There's also like a bunch of twists and turns that I didn't see coming at all. And I thought it was really cleverly done, especially towards the end. Like the final act is so fucking strong and just fucked up. I didn't know how we could already be topped with what we already saw, like at that point when we were, in the final act. But sure as shit, it took things to another level of fucked upness that many wouldn't even dare to go towards. And I fucking love that. And throughout the journey, we get an absurdly awesome amount of disturbing, violent, psychosexual imagery and gore-filled that could fill a goddamn gasoline truck. I mean, the practical effects and all the gore and all the blood that we get is some of the most impressive stuff I've honestly ever seen. I don't think I've ever seen practical gore done this well, better anywhere else, to be quite honest with you. And for that alone, if you're a gore hound and an effects guy like me, this is a must-have in your collection. So needless to say, I really think this is honestly one of the best extreme films I've ever seen. It gets the masterpiece stamp for me. I hold it up there with the greats of hardcore cinema, and I'm definitely a fan of director Olaf Ittenbach now. And
have you seen Premudos yet?
No, I've never seen Premudos, so I'm looking forward to Unearthed's release of that. I know some people say that's his best, but I don't know how anything's going to fucking top this. And I know even Stephen Biro said that he thinks this is Olaf's best work so far. So
it's more
I agree
polished for sure. It's
Yeah,
definitely more polished. He's been on my radar ever since Premutos. I mean, God, that's probably 20 years now, right?
Was Legion of the Dead before or after, right around the same time?
Oh, no, that's after Premutos. Premutos really kind of put him on the map here in the U.S.
Yeah.
I mean, as an indie filmmaker, when that Shriek Show, I believe it was, DVD came out. And
no, it was Shakorama.
Shakorama, I'm sorry. And yeah, I mean, he went on to do bigger films, particularly as a special effects artist. But yeah, certainly German horror, not necessarily known for their storylines. A lot of German horror, although there are exceptions to that rule, especially lately. German Angst was one that I liked quite a bit, that we did a couple years ago, I think. But yes, way more polished than Premutos. I don't know if everybody, you might like Premutos more, it just depends. But so this is kind of almost felt like Hellraiser by way of August Underground in a way. Probably some of the more disturbing stuff was the real BDSM club footage, where you get some real gore.
So is that accurate, Dan?
I would not know, sir. But
it ain't about that life.
Well, certainly, I don't think anybody. The hooks. No, thank you. That's kind of fucked up. I mean, this is as advertised. This is an extreme horror film that certainly fits the label. A lot of wince-inducing stuff, but also, I mean, it's well made. This one, again, I would say you kind of have to be an extreme horror fan, but nonetheless, this is not. It doesn't feel cheap. It doesn't feel haphazard in any way. It's you can see his evolution as a filmmaker, which you kind of see in some of his other. He's had an interesting career, but I agree about the lead performance. I thought she was excellent. If you like surreal, extreme gore films, you can't go wrong with this. Pugs, what did you think? You're into this crazy shit. What did you think?
Completely. I think you fucking nailed it with saying it's Hellraiser told through August Underground. That's pretty fucking spot on, Dan. Good for you. This movie crosses a line that a lot of movies don't, like Kruger was saying earlier, and for that alone, fuck yeah, this was a must-own, must-see.
You talk it towards the end, I take it.
Oh, completely.
We're gonna talk about it in spoilers for sure.
Yeah. I was gonna say I know we're doing spoilers tonight.
Oh yeah, I got a big section for this motherfucker.
I was already on board. Like, this movie's like the story. I wasn't confused, but I'm like, where are we going? Because if we're going where I think we're going, it's gonna be cool. It didn't go where I thought, which is great. But I was impressed nonetheless. The gore in this, yeah, this is just fucking fantastic. I loved it. It's very brutal, very violent. I'm shocked it took me this long because I've known about this movie for a while to finally get to see it, and I'm happy I'm here now. And yeah, I got nothing but praise for this fucking movie.
There you go. Is this your first Olaf Ittenbach flick, Pugs? Or
I don't think so. Is The Burning Moon? Is that him?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, then no. Then I've seen that.
All right, sweet. How about you, Todd?
You guys left nothing for me at this point. Yeah, I mean, you guys like nailed this one hard. Yeah, I'm with you guys. I love this one. I don't know which I like better, Dan. I'm kind of, because this one's more polished, but I really, the other one has
different tones too.
Yeah, and the other one has some nostalgia for me.
Mm-hmm.
I
came
remember
out
that
at a time where you kind of needed more of that too.
Yeah, then violent shit was around that. I know the third one also came. Didn't it come out the same day? That and Violent Doom as
Zombie Doom. Yeah, that's Violent Shit 3, I believe.
Yeah, that came out the same day, I believe, as the Blu-ray for
that is Andreas Schnaas, though.
No, I know, but I'm saying those. Yeah. So that was like that little bit of German gore that we were getting at the time. Mm-hmm. But no, yeah, I wasn't saying it was the same guy.
On that note, though, Violent Shit, that trilogy DVD is out there. So,
which I still haven't checked out that trilogy, so I got to check it out. I'm still used to
Chipotle and Taco Bell visit. What's going on? Violent Shit. I've never heard of it. Awesome.
Oh, okay. Well,
you do get to see an entire skeleton ripped out of somebody's asshole. So there's that, Pugs. It's classy stuff.
Sign me up.
So I guess we'll just say now we'll eventually have a Violent Shit franchise show. Isn't there? Oh wait, we covered the newest movie, right?
I don't think we've ever covered any.
No, remember that was that other one that's more like a giallo.
From Andreas?
No, just Violent Shit. That.
Oh, yeah, and I don't know if that one is even official, but yeah, I know what you mean.
But I did like that one, but it's nothing like the series. But since I'm talking about everything else, because you guys, I read out of stuff to talk about the movie. I love this one.
I will throw out Timothy Balmy of Dead Alive, aka Brain Dead fame, is in this, but it's a cameo. In fairness, so he was the
blonde dude at the end, right?
Yeah. And this movie's about, I think, 8 or 9 years old, but it is new to Blu-ray. And that DVD's been out of print for a while. So
isn't it longer than that? Like 10 years?
It might be.
I think it is. I closed where I had it open.
It was kind of one of those ones that took a while.
2010. So.
Oh yeah, all right.
11. Okay.
There you go. But most people.
Yeah, I'm surprised this went under my radar. I know the name, but I never really I should go get like a bootleg, but I don't have to now.
We can do a German gore show. There's plenty of material.
I don't remember German angst, so let's do it.
Oh, absolutely. All right, gentlemen. So we rate on a scale of 0 to 5 stars. What say you, Kruger?
Not a big surprise. I'm a 5 out of 5 for this one.
Sweet. I am a 4.5 for, again, surreal gore flick. You have to be into that, but this delivers what you're looking for. How about you, Pugs?
I was a 4.5, but they crossed the line, so we're gonna give them a 5 because they had the balls to do it.
As much as I hate this, I'm with Dan. I'm a 4.5 also.
It's a good rating.
It is. Yeah, it's not like I gave it like a 2. I mean, come on. But yeah, it's not going to be for everybody, so I will put that out.
No.
Yeah, there we go.
Wait, Ben Grimm said that the German Chainsaw Massacre.
Yes. Are you familiar with a lot of German horror, Ben? It's funny being German. I can't say like it's the best country for horror, but there have been some I think
there's a race of people that would strongly disagree with that statement.
Film, you son of a bitch. All right. On that note, I walked into it, so that's
you
okay.
did.
I accept responsibility. All right, so let's see if we can keep this momentum going. Our next film is shut the fuck up, Todd. Our next film is from writer-director Nathan Harris, and it is Baphomet. And Baphomet, a satanic cult puts curses on a family in an effort to take over their property, creating unexplainable mayhem and tragedy. All right. So I'm going to get the good out of the way first because there's not a lot at all. Giovanni Lombardo Radice, Euro horror legend. You definitely know that name. It's always cool to see him in something where he's using his real voice. That and this has pretty cool cover art. I bought the Blu-ray because it looked really fucking cool. That is all I have to say good about this film. It is number one, it's 72 minutes. You shouldn't be boring with a 72-minute horror film, about a satanic cult. I'm prone to like these films, like all those old 70s satanic panic flicks, Devil's Reign, Brotherhood of Satan. I eat that stuff up, and this was so mind-numbingly bad. I couldn't believe it. The pacing is just so leisurely for this runtime. The acting is just not there. I'm not blaming Radice. Giovanni's awesome, but oh my God, the lead, who is also the director, a good example of why that's not a good idea. He was horrible. Oh, well, yes, but he's no Mel Gibson. I mean, this dude, if you had said John Travolta, I would say he's no Joey Travolta, or he was horrible. This doesn't even work. Like you kind of expect, all right, I'm going to get some gore and some skin. It doesn't even really deliver that. It's just a slog of a movie. And Giovanni, I love him, and this is the directing, but the scene where dynamite is thrown, there's like a William Shatner kind of moment there that was just, could you make fun of this movie and have a good time? Maybe.
No.
But
I don't think so either.
I'm and Danny Filth. I also want to throw this out there, Truth in Advertising. Danny Filth is a cameo that he shot on his own laptop on Zoom.
Yeah.
So if you're just getting it for that, I think you're going to be disappointed. But Kruger, I can tell you had similar thoughts.
Yeah, let's double tag on this bitch real quick, because this shit sucked. The acting is fucking terrible, like you already brought up, especially the daughter and the dad. I couldn't fucking stand either one of them. And they couldn't carry a movie to save their fucking life, to be honest with you. And the cameo with Danny Filth, I guess, was cool. That, he did it when he was drunk on Skype at maybe 11 o'clock at night, and was very uninterested in whatever. Yeah, and whatever the fuck he was doing. But you already said it, Giovanni Radice, it's cool that he was in this too, but again, his character had nothing for me, and just the writing was bad. He couldn't save this fucking shit if his life depended on it either. And the dialogue was also cringe as fuck. It's just so unnatural. And the only thing I have that's kind of nice to say is maybe some of the practical effects were okay. I mean, they weren't fucking fantastic, but I mean, there was some decent looking corpses, I guess. And, the story, within the first 2 minutes, I was like, oh, this may be some fucking badass shit. And then just, falls apart worse and worse as the time's going on. And just by the end, it's just a total shit fest. I wanted to turn it off before ending the movie, but I powered my way through and was left pissed and disappointed. And it's honestly one of the worst films I've seen all year. And like I already said, Danny Filth nor Giovanni Radice could save this flaming pile of shit because it's bad. Whatever you do, I really hope nobody spends their money on this film, because if you do, just say the disc is broken. Try to get your money back.
If you want a Danny Filth fix, check out Cradle of Fear, which is a region-free Blu-ray, I believe. So if
he's
you guys
in there way more.
Yeah, better film. And I also want to say this is not it's well shot. It's not like a case of this is a camcorder movie or anything. It just fucking sucks. But Pugs, I don't know. Maybe you saw something in it. What did you think?
I watched this movie 2 days ago, maybe 3 days ago. I don't remember a fucking thing about it except being on the computer. I even you guys speaking about it right now, not jogging a fucking thing. So this movie was a waste of time. Don't waste yours.
Well, thank God. I felt bad. I'm trying to remember stuff as they're talking. I remember being a piece of shit too, but it immediately vacated my brain.
Yeah, my brain was not having it.
It was escaping.
Did you at least laugh at "Praise Satin"? Because that's how he kept saying it every time. There's a drinking
with the Anton LaVey wannabe guy. Nah, fuck that. Don't waste your time.
Especially when they were siege at the house. I was just like, oh my God, this is horrible. All right. So yeah, we're not going to waste too much more time. There's just not a lot to break down with this one. No suspense. No, it just didn't have anything going for it. So I'm a 0. I can't think of any reason that you need to watch this. I love Giovanni, but there's other films with him in it out there. So much better. How about you, Kruger?
I was gonna give it a 0.5 for the gore, but this review has honestly instilled the rage in my heart again. So fucking 0 out of 5 for me too.
Yeah. I was gonna give it a half point just for Danny Filth, but he can't do it either. It's a 0.
Well, Jesus Christ, we were all at half a point, and now I'm to 0 too.
Dude, so like
One big
a
hole.
yeah, like the biggest fucking hole. That shit's from your ass crack to your stomach.
So before we move on to our next film, I just want to say, anybody on eBay that might want to buy this,
It's really
The link
cool.
will be in the description. We'll add
Really
it
cool
in.
artwork.
if you buy it, I will sign it for you. I had nothing to do with it, but I will even sign it for you. I'm sorry, from Flesh and Game. So there you go. Just
Well, that
message me.
alone.
Just message me on there
Oh
if you
my
want it signed.
I'm waiting for the comment from the director.
All right. I hope he buys it.
I did not tag the director, but
Pugs makes you handle that.
maybe. I always say when I savage a movie, I was in 3 movies and it were all bad. So I'm not. I get it, but I gotta call it like it is. So
Be prepared, Dade. We're gonna get multiple. You just don't get it. So
all right. So hopefully there is some redemption on the horizon. We will see. So our next film is H.P. Lovecraft's The Deep Ones from director Chad Farron, who we've covered multiple films from Chad over the years. And so The Deep Ones, a married couple rents a beachside house only to be surrounded by strange neighbors in a cult with an ancient sea god. All right. So I feel like I saw the trailer for this one quite a while ago. It's been on my radar for a while.
We saw it when the
We watched it
movie.
live.
What was that one called?
which one?
Sacrifice.
Sacrifice.
Yeah, there were 2, and this was like so big Chad Farron's kind of a Trauma alumni, and we reviewed not too long ago, maybe last year sometime, Exorcism at 30,000 feet, I believe it was. It was like an airplane parody horror movie, bunch of names in it too.
Awesome.
That's a good fucking time.
Yeah,
nothing
that made me
tops
laugh.
Unspeakable. I will just say that I love that movie.
Yes. So yeah, he's a director that's been around for a long time now. Some familiar faces: Robert Miano, who was the priest in Exorcism of 30,000 feet. Also, his real life wife, who plays his wife in this, Sylvia Spross. She was also in that. I really like Robert. He does comedy well. He's just one of those under the radar actors that's been around for a very long time. He was one of the thugs in the original Death Wish. So been creating movie memories for quite some time, even though he's not the biggest name. There you go. And yeah, I really enjoyed the Richard Band score, and I like this movie. I was a little underwhelmed. I'm not going to lie. It has its moments. It has its creepiness. It's not exactly a scary film. The acting's not from some of the other actors. Some of it was not quite up to par. I don't know. This is just one of those ones where it's a one-time watch. There's certainly worse Lovecraft adaptations, but it didn't quite connect for me. And this is kind of just generally based on the Cthulhu mythos. And I don't know. Kruger, what did you think? This is just one that was just kind of there for me.
So like, you know, I'm a big H.P. Lovecraft fan, so I was really looking forward to this. And like you already said, the acting definitely could have been better in more than a few areas. Dialogue also seemed a little bit off for me at times, and I wasn't really invested in any of the characters outside of the cultist and the blonde with the witty one-liners. She was pretty good, but other than that, like the main characters, I wasn't really invested with. I did like the story a lot, though. It seemed like a mixture of like Shadow over Innsmouth and Dagon a little bit, and there were some serious awkward vibes that we got. Some moments that worked pretty well for me. Fortunately, though, the ending just left me disappointed and wanting more. Probably because I wasn't a huge fan of one of the effects that was shown. Like the creature effects in some areas look good, and there was like there was this Innsmouther that looked pretty dope. In the little hallucination scene, and the makeup looks similar to the good makeup in the Barge People. I don't like that fucking movie, but there was a really good makeup, and it was very similar to that.
Felt like the
so
same.
I thought that,
the same. Like they took it from there.
But I dug it. I mean, that's a pretty common look, though. Like if you've played The Sinking City, there's an Innsmouther that looks exactly like that in that video game. And like the little tentacle things that we got, like the little scenes where the tentacles are popping out, like those look good. But man, the big reveal of Dagon at the end is just like, man, the design, like I thought was really cool, but the it just looked like he was wearing a mask, and it was a very static looking look to it, and there was no movement in the jaw, and like there should have been like some articulation there. It would have been acceptable for something like the 1950s, or it would work with those type of creature features, and maybe that's what the person was going for. But just for me, it didn't match the quality of the other practical effects that we got before it, and it kind of ruined the whole ending for me. I mean, even Humanoids from the Deep, as low budget as it is, those guys have some jaw articulation. So I mean, I liked a decent amount of things, but I can't really say it's above average. I do recommend it for Lovecraftian fans because I do think it's worth the watch, and I see a lot of people actually liking this. I've heard a couple of my friends that are Lovecraft fans like it, but just me, my effects snob brain won't fucking get past that ending, and I just saw it had way more potential if there was some more effort put forward in some of the effects. So that being said, I'll probably give this another watch down the line. It's not something I'm never gonna watch again. I think maybe a double with Sacrifice, like have this be the warm-up and then watch Sacrifice after. That may be pretty cool. And maybe my expectations were just too high. But what about you, Pugs? What'd you think?
I think I liked it more than you guys. But like it falls flat. It starts off strong for me, like the first 10, 15 minutes. I'm like, we're going to get in some shit. This is going to be cool. And then it kind of dies off in the middle. It comes back a little bit at the end, but yeah, I feel you guys. They just didn't stick the landing or get the middle going. But I liked most of the characters. The main chick, Gina, whatever the fuck her name is.
Alex.
Yeah, I liked her. I was rooting for her the entire time, and then some Rosemary's Baby type shit might happen, and they even used a shot from that movie, which is fine, but it's just okay. I would recommend checking it out and finding out for yourself, because I really haven't heard if everybody likes it or hates it or whatever, but I think it's definitely worth your time to find out.
Well, I am very relieved. I thought I was going to be the only one who was like on it. Like it was average. I will say, because Dan mentioned tons of people in here, but he left out Kelly Maroney, which I do want to say was also in there.
Oh yeah.
So
it's definitely one of those movies though. Like there's just a lot of better examples. Cthulhu with ironically, I know Tori Spelling was in that one, is a pretty good movie. It starts like some of the characters are memorable, the creepy girl, and it has moments, but just none of it really truly comes together. And most of the actors were good. Like I said, some of the others.
I enjoyed the like uneasy, awkward vibe that it was giving out.
Yeah. It needed to come together a little more, maybe in the finale. But there's better Lovecraft, and there's a lot worse too. So I'm not trying to overly shit on this movie, because it was a good one-time watch if you're a Lovecraft aficionado. All right, so 0 to 5 stars. I'm a 2.5. It's a one-time watch kind of flick, and you might get more out of it. There's some memorable characters in here. How about you, Kruger?
Yep, right there with you. 2.5 out of 5 for me.
Make it 3. Yeah,
Are we gonna like agree on almost everything tonight?
I think our cycles synced up.
I'm a 2.5 also.
Wow. So
All right.
2.5 cross.
Half a hole.
Yeah. It's not Baphomet. There you go. I strongly sensed that there wasn't going to be any odd man out on that one. But all right. Well, yeah, we got it. Maybe we'll be screaming at each other at the end of the next review. Who knows? Can't be this kumbaya right now. But we'll see. Let's see if we can break the record here. Girl Next from director Larry Wade Carroll. And this film follows a young woman who is abducted by a strange group of human traffickers who turn women into sex slaves. Trapped in a nightmare, Lorelyn searches for a way to escape. All right. So, Girl Next. Safe to say there's a lot more to this than just a human trafficking kind of thriller. What did you think of this one, Kruger?
So the opening scene, man, without spoiling anything, goddamn, if that was a way to get my fucking attention. I thought the acting was a little bit weak in some areas, but I did really like the performances of Heinrich, portrayed by Marcus Jean Perret, I believe I said that right, and Paula Marciano, who played Misha, Heinrich's wife. I thought those two kind of stole the show. But the main character, the main lead, that actress that we got, I thought she could have been a little bit better. But man, there is some ridiculously sleazy dialogue in this. I mean, I was shocked at some of the shit that was said. I definitely laughed at some areas that I shouldn't have because of how absurd shit got. The hallucination scenes were a big highlight for me. There was some dodgy CGI in there, unfortunately, but luckily there was enough practical effects throughout the film to combat the CGI and kind of make me forget about it, because there was some impressive stuff in some of the gore department. And one scene involving a corpse in particular that was just like, what the fuck? Like, that was nasty. The story, man, this is fucking original, if anything. Like, it's really original and just utterly batshit insane. I mean, there's so many what the fuck is happening moments in both like good and bad ways. And the last 10 minutes of the movie, it kind of pissed me off a little bit. I thought they added this unneeded twist that had me rolling my eyes, and I really wish they would have stuck the landing, because I was having a fucking great time up until that point. There's also an after credit scene that I wasn't sure how to feel about, but overall, man, this fucking movie is just, if anything, fucking unique, pretty ambitious, and just I was not expecting the ride this took me on, and I highly recommend everybody to watch it, because I mean, if anything, this is a fucking ride of a film.
Yeah, I wanted like Liam Neeson to give his Taken speech to the clown. Real, in a perfect world, that would have made this interesting. Yeah, this is, like I said, it's a lot more than the thriller that it's kind of advertised as. You have the lead couple, which are kind of like an upper class Leonard Lake and Cricket. Just kind of, I guess.
Disrespecting Leonard Lake and Cricket.
Well, similar. But yeah,
she reminded me of like a serious Frau Brüller or whatever her name was from Austin Powers. I was like, get it, girl.
Yeah, it was an interesting performance. Very surreal, kind of David Lynch kind of vibe with this one. I enjoyed it. You have to be in the mood for something weird. I think this is one to watch when you might be on a certain substance. It might enhance it a little more. I don't think everything makes sense, but there's some pretty gross moments. I mean, the necrophile and the slime. Yeah. That was pretty pretty nasty. Unique gore. I mean, I don't know if I would just describe this as like a gore fest per se, but
No, definitely not. But it was just like really weird with the stuff that they went with. Like it wasn't just your typical people are getting their limbs hacked off and shit. It was really, really strange. Like we definitely got to talk about it in spoilers for sure.
Yeah, an interesting use of like a jigsaw egg beater, which was exactly cool. How about you, Pugs?
I still want to see the movie that was advertised that I had in my brain. Like, oh, that seems interesting.
Yeah.
But this one, fucking out there. I highly recommend watching this. You will not be as bored as Baphomet. That is for goddamn sure.
Yeah.
We have all so far mentioned the necrophile scene. Fucking yes, please. More of that.
And the mutton chops made it even better.
Yeah, I was surprised because when we started going off the rails, I'm like, what are we doing? Because like I'm scratching my head. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? But they dragged me in, and I'm like, okay, here we go. The ending's not as strong as the rest of the movie, but I totally forgive it. I actually really enjoyed that stinger that we got at the end, and if we can get a spin-off movie of what they were doing at the time, I'm in. Yeah, for the most part, though, I really like this movie. Things worth checking out. Yeah, it was fine.
I should also point out both Deep Ones in this have after credit scenes. Deep Ones is like a comedic thing that was actually pretty hilarious. If you do watch these.
I was waiting for you to show up.
Oh,
that's perfect for you.
I didn't know anything about this one beyond the trailer, and yeah, it's not what you expect. How about you, Todd? What did you think?
Well, I didn't get the movie I was expecting, so that was a big point away from me. I enjoyed, like you guys already mentioned, the one scene. I enjoyed it. I think the ending hurt it for me, but overall, I think it's worth a watch. I don't think I liked it as much as you guys, but I do think it's a solid effort.
How did you feel about the clown? Because right there, the first time he popped up, like, what the fuck?
I think maybe that's it. There was a little bit too much what the fuck, and I wanted more sex trafficking. I mean, I would have done it better, but the movie, not the sex trafficking.
Yeah, but then it also would have been more standard. I don't know, different work.
I get that, but I went in expecting that, and I got something else, which is fine.
You got some Todding though.
You did, but it was very low level.
Going in,
he's like, they're amateurs.
That's probably why I got I probably why I'm lower. I was like,
when I was watching this, I had forgotten specifically which trailer it was, and obviously when the clown thing shows up, I remembered. But I thought I was going in to watch that Megan Fox movie, which I think had a trafficking angle to it, and I remember thinking, like, what the fuck?
For the record, I wasn't on that episode. I think that movie looks awesome.
Thank you.
I want to see her sex trafficked for sure.
I think you're going to see her beating the shit out of the traffickers is what you're going to get out of that.
As long as you get in one time.
Sorry, Pugs. That was me and you.
That's fine.
But yeah, and maybe that's a theme for tonight. If you're in the mood for something different. But I kind of like this one. My rating's not like super high. I don't know if this is one I'm going to go and watch again anytime soon, but it's certainly above average. I give it a 3. I enjoyed it.
Well, I'm a 3.5 out of 5. I want this on Blu-ray so I can add it to my collection for sure. Just because of how batshit ridiculous it is, and the necrophile scene. So
there you go.
Words right out of my mouth. 3.5 just for that alone, but everything else is definitely worth watching. So have a good time with it.
I'm a 3 also. I'm with Dan. God, as much as the whole thing. I'm a 3.
All right. So yeah, guys, we say this every week, but very curious to hear you weigh in. Don't waste time with Baphomet. I can't see anybody liking that movie. No. But you might, and if you do, we won't judge you.
I feel like they should watch it because we had
Suffer
our pain.
Yeah, feel our pain, motherfuckers.
I should probably rewatch it since I don't remember anything, but I'm not gonna.
No, you shouldn't.
Yeah, I'm gonna trust you guys.
You don't want to lose 2 hours and 40 minutes or
Again?
2 hours and 20 minutes to that movie.
Yeah.
Was it that long?
No,
It's an hour and 10 minutes, but if you watch it twice,
yeah.
that's 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Oh,
You can never get it
okay.
back.
I was like, God damn, I can't believe.
Danny Filth wasn't even like reacting to something. He was just reading the fucking lines.
He
Like,
didn't
I
give
think
a
that's
fuck.
what. No.
Yeah, he was banging somebody that worked on the movie or something because that was just like the PSA on Satanists. And he was
You pay the fee. That's fine. Maybe they got him on Cameo.
I was just gonna say that. They probably did.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I forgot. All right, guys. So we are on Discord now. Putting that over. I know a bunch of you. I know Ben. I think you're on there. So if you're not, hop on. We do on our Discord. Also, Horror Cartel Flesh Wound Radio Facebook group. And follow us on Twitter at Flesh Wound Radio. Also, fleshwoundfeatures.com, which has links to everything, including our Teespring store.
All of those links are directly below us too now. So
Yes.
just
So
click it.
just click it. And got a lot of great shows coming up for you guys. We got some interviews dropping soon. We've got some exclusive Patreon content, which patreon.com/fleshwoundfeatures. We will
You want to tell them what we
be-
got Sunday?
yes, we will be reviewing Beaver and Butt Cheeks, which is a Disney film. It stars,
Ron
it's
Jeremy.
obscure. No, actually, he's not in that.
I know, but I couldn't think of. I didn't. Yeah, I don't know. Is Peter North in there?
I do kind of want like Ron Jeremy. Maybe he can play the genie. I don't know. That'd be cool. But anyways, yes, we have that. We will have a Guinness World Record episode that I'm not going to elaborate too much. But needless to say, $1 on Patreon's all it takes. You support us, and we've got some cool exclusive content for you, and we appreciate it. Also, putting it out there, I'm not a guest or anything, but I am going to be at the Imaginarium convention in Louisville, Kentucky, July 9th through 11th. So if you see me, hey, say hi. I know we've got some listeners in Kentucky.
And
if you rip his hat off and bring it and mail it to me, you get a special prize.
Yep.
Oh, that's messed up.
And
I
if
will
you
fight
shitting
back.
it,
That's messed up. That's the $10,000 tier on Patreon.
oh no! But if they get it from you in person,
That's messed up. So yes, I think I play. Oh, like, share, subscribe, and comment here on YouTube. That also helps our visibility. You guys have been awesome about that recently, so we appreciate it. And I think that's all I've got.
Spoilers.
we can go straight to
Spoilers. Sorry. Yes.
I thought he was leading to there. I didn't hear.
buffer for it.
Yeah, I said it.
Motherfucker, I didn't get to talk about my kills for no reason yet. Well,
That's cool.
you ain't getting off the hook yet.
All right.
All right, guys. So now, if you haven't seen the films, you can always pick up where you left off. So you have been warned. Spoiler alert. Before we get into it, I want like a Star Trek like battle with when that goes up, because I think that'd be cool. I don't know if we get in trouble for that. Maybe we would.
Kruger, you were saying to say?
Yes.
Well, let's go backwards and start with girl next. So the fucking pussy blender, dude. Like, what the hell is that fucking thing? Like, that was awesome. I was just like, oh, I was so mad they cut away though. I wanted to see it fucking get used. Fucking
Blender.
Yeah.
That's a show.
oh, hey, but get working on it, Todd. So fucking when Misha goes blonde eyes and blue hair, the viewer would be so proud. Dan, would he?
I wouldn't.
I at that point I was just like, man, that was fucking this movie is gonna be ridiculous. And from that point, like I was laughing way too fucking hard at that because it was so out of left field. I was like, is she even like, was that a German act? I didn't think it was German, so I was like, all right. Yeah, the corpse fucker, man. Like he sticks his fucking hands in this dead corpse's
smells
pussy,
it.
and then pulls out all her pussy boogers on his hand, and then smells it. Like, what the fuck? That has to be one of the most disgusting fucking things I've ever fucking seen. Like, holy shit.
A callback from the earlier scene because the sheriff did that to the living one. So
Yeah.
I was like, we got the bookends.
Also, shout out, I don't know his name, but the sheriff is also the director. And yeah, and dude, how awesome was it when she ran him over and then fucking puts him back together, and he just rings the doorbell, he just falls apart. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's so absurd. And then that hallucination scene where Sophie is like sticking that doll down that corpse's mouth, and the fucking corpse's mouth is like all outstretched, and she's done sticking the doll out, and her lip is all like this shit. Like, that was disgusting and like really, really eerie looking, and just beautiful effect.
It was Nubbin's girlfriend.
Yeah,
Bride of Nubbins. There you go. We just booked one.
And then also the way, the fucking DMT maniac was just, his face is fucking melting, keeps snorting that shit. Like, that was awesome. And just, you see his face all melting and shit. And then when he gets his head hawked off, there was some shitty blue CGI blood that came out. But I mean, we got a nice decap. So that was pretty nice at the end. And that's all I got for that one. You guys got anything for Girl Next?
You just remind me of that blue blood. That's some fucking Army of the Dead shit.
Yeah.
No, I got nothing.
Better than that, though.
All right, so moving on. I don't really have too much for the deep ones, but I'll just say when the tentacle came out of the one dude's wife's bathing suit out of between her legs, and that dude starts deep throating the tentacle. That was pretty nasty. So and like just an awkward scene. I was just like, oh, this may be a good ride. I wish it would have kind of took that and went a little bit more crazier. Like, I was hoping whatever was chasing Kelly Maloney, like, we could have saw, or what that was. But yeah, I mean, I've heard a couple of my friends say like they really dug it, which kind of surprised me, but I'm glad that we were all on the same page. So no reason. Okay, so we're gonna be here for a while. The first level rot with the red lightning and shit. Like, Jennifer wakes up and is probably, and like when she wakes up, it's like one of the most brutal scenes I've seen in a while, because she's on top of all these corpses that are just mutilated to shit, and like, super vulnerable, naked, and keeps falling in the blood trying to stand up. Like, that was just a really sick scene. And with how realistic the stuff looked too. Like, if you've ever seen real corpses and real gore, I mean, it was really, really realistic. And then, the executioner goes into his torture methods, and the first person he whips to death with a flogger. And like, every time he's whipping this chick in the face, like, pieces of her face are coming off to the point where she's looking like Freddy Krueger when he rips his face off in the first Nightmare on Elm Street. And like, that was badass as hell. And then, we see this fucking scene where the executioner has this dude and sticks a fucking scissors in the head of his dick and then starts fucking cutting. Like, oh my God, bro, that fucking shit was making me cringe and hold my crotch. Like,
there's been a lot of genital mutilation lately.
I want more, dude. That shit, dude. If you can get that, like, for me, there's very few things that can get a big reaction out of me, but that is still one that like has me always go, oh fuck. So yeah, that was great. And then
I don't think we've ever seen it done that way before on screen, where they go through the pee hole. So
yeah.
Torched is an unearthed Blu-ray that might have the record for most cringe dick.
Oh yeah,
torture. I
don't know. Like,
yeah,
that's true. And And then, shortly after that, we see this fucking old lady get her head crushed with like this weird, like metal wiring contraption. Just that was nasty. And then after that, fucking, we go into the level 2 and we get all this masochistic BDSM imagery. And we see an orgy involving a man getting hooks put in his face and then ripped out like Uncle Frank from Hellraiser. I thought that was great. A guy gets his dick bit off and it just looks nasty as hell. A lot of dick torture in this shit. And there was this one scene where this guy was strapped to a table and just everybody's going at him with meat cleavers. Like, it was fucking ridiculous. And he's just getting hacked in all different areas. And then we also learned the executioner had ripped Jennifer's eye out with like an ice cream scoop, and that was something that I never knew I wanted to see until I saw it. And I mean, that was pretty badass. Then on level 3 we saw like deformed
real
human.
quick, Todd, don't you have a problem with eyeballs?
I don't have a problem. I have a needle thing. I don't like to see needles.
Oh, okay, my bad. Okay.
I'll sometimes eyeballs will fuck like damn, but yeah.
Okay, because for some reason you stuck out to me when that scene popped up.
And then we move to level 3, and like there's these deformed humans that just look creepy as fuck. Like there's this dude with no eyes or nose, and there's also like this guy that has this contraption where these pins are stuck into his head. I thought that was really cool. And then watching just Jennifer go through and just hack them all up to shit with an axe, that was just a little badass moment. And then finally we get to the final level and everything starts to come together, and we find out that the reason why Jennifer is going through all this shit is because this bitch is a druggy cunt that massacred a shitload of people and shot a toddler in the fucking face, like, which they didn't give a fuck about. Like, they just showed that shit head on, which A+ for having the balls to do
was
that.
Everybody else waiting for it to cut when
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, they're not. I'm sure this movie's gone far, but they're not going to do that. Oh, here we go.
Headshot, boom.
Yeah, right.
Like, my bad.
They didn't give a fuck. Like, and it wasn't even
no
like
more SpongeBob for you.
But remember, like in Possessor, it was like we saw it from the back of the head. Like, no, this is straight up right in the fucking face. And then, like, with that twist, just fucking how awesome was it for the idea to, make you sympathetic for her throughout the whole movie? Like, why the hell is this lady going through all this shit? And then you're like, fuck, she should have went through more. Like, God damn it.
Run that shit again.
Yeah, I mean, just, and how, like, despicable she is for the fact that she killed this kid. And then she's like, I want my son back. I want my son. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, I was so happy that, she died at the end. And just the one thing that I thought was cool is I watched the behind the scenes, and the director and the effects guy Olaf was talking about, this is a really short film, but I wanted to get in and out of there with the story that needed to be told. And he said a really cool line. He was like, stories can be all different types of lengths. Some stories take 70 minutes, some take 80, some take 240 minutes. It's just the beauty of making film. And I'm glad that I got to do something that was so high paced through the whole thing and never dragged. And I 100% agree. I mean, this movie was entertaining through the whole 70 minutes it was on. And like I said, I loved it to death. I mean, fuck, dude. Oh, so much gore, like buckets and buckets of gore. I was overwhelmed and just really pleased.
There you go, guys. This was definitely, I don't think really intentionally, but just ended up being one of those gore weeks. So yeah. none of these films are Disney fare for sure. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, maybe we will do a German horror one at some point because there's a lot there we haven't touched. So
yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah. Any other spoilers, guys?
No,
I'm good.
All right. So everybody, I think I pimped everything. We really appreciate you listening. Smash that like button. And until next time, pussy boogers.
Todd?
Stay sick, motherfuckers.
And I'll see you in Disneyland. Adios.